Hey kids, what time is it?
Mark Millar's new hit is going to be on Kickstarter. Mark Millar, John Romita Jr., team for Psychic Sam, or for a comic, and there's already a discussion for a movie on this. The story, centering on a man who can predict murders, has a gentleman producer Ivan Atkinson on board for a future adaptation. This comes exclusively from the Hollywood Reporter by Aaron Couch. So, as of May 27th, 2025, 8 a.m., this Kickstarter launched. Here's some imagery and paraphernalia for Psychic Sam. Looks pretty cool. The Kick-Ass team is getting back together with prolific comic book scribe Mark Millar and artist Tom Romita Jr. reteaming for the new comic book Psychic Sam. The book launches on Kickstarter today and centers on a man who knows about murders before they happen, with a voice in his head telling him the name and address of future killers. It's about a guy with a big gun who goes out and solves problems. He hears voices in his head and tells him to kill bad guys, Millar says in a video announcing the comic. The only trouble is the bad guys haven't done anything yet, but every time he ignores it, someone innocent dies. It's only a matter of time before the body piles up. So think Minority Report, where trying to predict a crime and stopping it before it happens. It's not a new idea. It's actually kind of basic the way he sums it up here, but with Mark Millar, a lot of times, or most of the times, I think his ideas, his stories are basic at its most root level, but then it's the way he tells the story that's what makes it fascinating. That's where the success comes from. He takes a basic idea and he does something really good with it. Let's see. Millar and Romita struck gold 15 years ago with Kick-Ass, the comic that centered on a regular teenager who decided to become a vigilante despite having no powers and no special skills. The Zeitgeisty book spawned the hit 2010 movie that helped establish Matthew Vaughn as an in-demand director in the comic book space. Now the pair hope to repeat the process with producer Ivan Atkinson coming aboard to develop Psychic Sam as a feature. Atkinson is known for his work with Guy Ritchie, producing films such as The Gentleman and Wrath of Man. If the movie comes to fruition, it'd be the latest in a string of Millar titles to hit the big screen, with Wanted and Kingsman also on the list. Meanwhile, his genre-breaking 2000s work at Marvel on the Ultimates and Civil War helped inspire the Marvel cinematic universe. Yeah, his event for Marvel, the Civil War, is I think is the most popular one, at least in the last 20 years or so, and I think it's the event that sold the most comics by Marvel in terms of putting out events and everything. So Psychic Sam is noteworthy for Millar as it does not fall under Netflix, where he has been exclusive since 2017 when the streaming giant purchased the company Millar World in a splashy deal that brought titles to the screen such as Jupiter's Galaxy and The Chosen One. Millar says Psychic Sam will not affect his output at Netflix-owned Millar World, with books still slated to 2026. So this is why it's going on Kickstarter, because this idea is not going to fall under his Netflix deal. This is something he's doing on his own outside of Netflix, and he is very prolific. He comes out with at least, I don't know, 5 or 6 titles, maybe more per year. So Netflix has nothing to worry about. He's gonna put out ideas, tons of ideas for Netflix, no matter what. But this one here is kind of special because it's outside of that. Millar says that desire to do Psychic Sam came after receiving offers from Marvel to do a big summer event series a la Civil War, as well as from DC to take on a big Superman project. Instead, he carved out 12 weeks at the end of last year to write the project. Yeah, I heard him talk an interview also on this. So he had offers from both Marvel and DC to do a book for them. For Marvel, they want him to do an event series, similar to how we did the Civil War years ago. And for DC, I mean, this would have been big. He was going to do a Superman book and it would have been so good for DC, because he would have had it released right around where the movie's coming out. I mean, it was going to sell crazy. and it was going to certainly boost DC sales way up high. And you know, obviously the two big losers for this announcement are Marvel and DC, because neither one of them have Millar doing stuff for them. I think in the end, because he actually decided not to do something for the big two companies and did something on his own, because he's at a point where he doesn't want anybody from the editorial teams telling him how to do a project or put any kind of like constraints on him. He does a lot more and a lot better without anybody, any kind of editorial from Marvel and DC. And those two companies have not been doing well over the last 10, 20 years. They would have definitely gotten a big boost if Millar did something for them. But let's face it, he's better off not doing anything for them, considering what's going on over there. With the Kickstarter now live, Millar and Romita are offering a number of incentives, including the chance to be drawn into the book. Said Romita in the video announcing the project, "I have to do justice to all of you." And here's some, looks like early art already for this. Let's check out the Kickstarter. So here we go. Here's the Psychic Sam. And this is, as I'm doing this right now, this is the second day into the Kickstarter, and already they've way surpassed their goal of 26,000, almost 27,000. They're almost double the goal already. I was tracking this they had met their goal within like 12 hours of this thing going live, so they're way already past reaching their goal on this. And I don't know why the goal is so low, but obviously they can afford to make it a low goal. So it's already been filled, and there's still 40 days to go. This is interesting here. Psychic Sam, Volume 1 of 3. So this is just going to be the first one. He's going to tell the story in 3 volumes. Hopefully the same team with Romita Jr. is going to tell the story in 3 volumes. This is only the first one of this, so most likely there's going to be 2 more Kickstarters or just add-ons to this. I'm sure it'll be different Kickstarters for volumes 2 and 3. Here you have the creators, Mark Millar, John Romita Jr. About Psychic Sam. Here we go. Sam Nicoletti hears a voice in his head the day before something bad happens. The voice tells him the name and address of the murderer, and if he ignores this voice, an innocent person dies. At first he thought he was going crazy, obviously, but as the bodies start piling up, he realizes he needs to do something, and after a while he hears about a murder that's so horrific he needs to intervene. Yeah, very interesting. Like I said, a basic premise, but very interesting. You can imagine the moral implications. He probably at first gets these psychic, this voice telling him about, and obviously he's gonna completely dismiss it at the beginning, and even thinking that he's going crazy. But as the actual crimes happen, exactly how the voice tells him, he starts building up kind of like a conflict with him. I mean, here he is. He knows what's going to happen, and if he doesn't do anything, an innocent's going to die. So how can he not act? And at the same time, if he goes and kills the murderer to be ahead of time, before the crime is committed, then he himself is committing a crime. He's committing murder of someone who hasn't done anything wrong yet. So you can see how this is going to become very, very complicated, very, very morally complex, and probably he's going to be trying to do the right thing, but the authorities are I'm sure going to come after him. I just can't wait to see how Millar is going to develop this and how the story is going to go. And of course, the art by John Romita Jr. is going to be great. What would you do in this situation? You can call the cops and they think you're crazy because nothing bad has happened yet. Exactly. But unless you take matters into your own hands, innocent people are going to suffer. Soon to be a major movie from the producer of The Gentleman and Wrath of Man. Of course, 18 plus mature audience. So there's going to be a lot of violence, as you can see from the premise. Rewards, so you can get the soft cover graphic novel. You can get the soft cover, the paperback with it signed. You can get the hardcover signed. And then you can get also this artist edition. which is so you can see the pencils and inks without having to read the story. So it's basically just the art without the lettering in it. You could get the magazine edition, a magazine size edition in the style of a 70s newsstand magazine with a painted cover by the legendary Star Wars artist David Dorman, and a black and white edition of graphic novel. This sounds very interesting. This one. This is going to look spectacular. You could get this is like it says trading card level, so it's all the previous rewards plus trading card. Now they start getting into all the different other paraphernalia that goes along with it. You get the T-shirts and baseball cap and along with everything else. This one here, I was gonna, if I had got in there quickly enough, I was gonna probably try to get the elite level package. They're only offering 20 of these, and by the time I even got wind of this Kickstarter and went in there, these were all gone already. Let's see. This is signed headshot of Psychic Sam from artist John Romita Jr. along with all the other previous rewards, and of course you have the ultimate one, which is the big package that includes that you yourself, if you buy this, your image is going to be in the comic itself. You'll write and draw your likeness to the issue as a murder victim. So you're obviously not going to be a big part of the story. You're going to be one of the murder victims. But hey, it's nice to see, if you want to get this, you want to see yourself in the comic book. That's something. Just that's pretty ingenious to offer this. Of course, it's a very high price, and it only offers 4 of them. Here's all of them put together. Stretch goal. If we reach, they already reached this. I mean, we're here 2 days in. They already reached the stretch goal. They'll add 8 pages of exclusive, never seen before pencils and character sketches to the back of the books. They're in for this one because they've already reached the stretch goal. Shipping. They have the shipping costs here, and there you go. If you like any of Mark Millar stuff, John Romita Jr., here you go. Go right into the Kickstarter and claim your book here. There's about 40 days left, but that goes by fast. Mark Millar, if you ever hear him in an interview, he's so down to earth. He's just like a regular guy, despite his success. He tells just funny stories, and he's just like very, just very down to earth. He doesn't talk down to people or anything like that. Just as an example, and I know this is well known, but I can't help but repeat it. So when he did that Netflix deal back in 2017, where he would give Netflix a bunch of ideas that would then turn into movies for Netflix, he also asked them, can I make these? Can I adapt the ideas that I'm giving to you into a comic book form? He actually asked permission for that because obviously they bought the Millar World exclusive ideas, and Netflix told him, go right ahead. We don't care about what happens with the comic books. We're not into the comic book industry, so we just want the movies and stuff. So he went ahead. He went ahead on his own to adapt the idea into a comics that came out a bunch of them over the years. And what he did was he would go out and reach out to certain artists to work on it. Yeah, he would work on with a bunch of different artists, and any money that came out from selling that comic book, obviously it didn't go to Netflix. Mark Millar didn't want any of that money. It went all to the artist. It's such an amazing opportunity that he gave artists. When you contrast that with what's going on with Marvel and DC, when they pay such low rates for their artists and even the writers, and you hear about all these creators that have done so much for Marvel and DC and now are kind of like not being compensated for it. What he did there, just on his own, just gave all the proceeds to the artist. He's just incredible. Like I said, he's very down to earth. His success has not made him into somebody that looks down upon people at all, and I just think it's incredible. And I don't like all his stuff, but I like quite a lot of it, and he's obviously very, very popular with his project. And here we are. This is his very first Kickstarter, Psychic Sam. Can't wait to see this come out. I believe it's going to be August of this year. Can't wait to get this and talk about what unfolds there. Again, Psychic Sam, Volume 1 of 3. Well, that's it for me for now. Well, please let me know what you think. You going into that Kickstarter? I'm excited about this. Let me know, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching GeekTime TV. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure to check the little bell icon anytime someone from our network drops new content here. Want some GeekTime swag? Check out the merchandise available in the GeekTime TV store, linked in the channel description below. Share GeekTime TV with friends, and as always, thank you for your support. We'll see you soon.